Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Today's episode is very special because not only are we going to be talking about launching, but today is the launch of the Perfect Launch Vault. Now, what is the Perfect Launch Vault? It is your mindset savior, your mindset Batman coming in to save the day when it comes to managing your emotional response to your launch. Now, if you are an online entrepreneur, you know that if you are in the business of launching as well, and a lot of us are, especially who listen to this podcast, if you don't always have recurring things that are for sale, but you do launches, then this is going to be for you. You know that the emotional roller coaster that launching takes you on is really, really exhausting. We are usually so drained after a launch, and being drained isn't always a bad thing, but we want to make sure that it doesn't carry into your next launch or for the rest of your business. Essentially, launching can be fucking exhausting, and if you are not on top of your mindset, then you are not going to be able to really fully reap the benefits from your launch. You may not be performing as well, and then you may turn the result of your launch into something that it doesn't need to be. The Perfect Launch Vault is something that combines your goal and intention setting for your launch. It covers before, during, and after, and there's amazing hypnosis tracks, meditation tracks, daily journaling prompts, so you can stay on top of everything as the launch goes on. This is a really perfect add-on to whenever you are doing a launch. It's something that you can use over and over again, and it takes you through a process of really feeling into the result that you want, but also detaching at the same time. With expectations of how things are supposed to be comes attachment, and this Perfect Launch Vault is going to help you release the attachment to your outcome so you can truly enjoy the process and make sure that your energy is on point, because energy is everything. The energy you're giving off is everything. The energy that you are putting into your launch is everything and will determine the result. And it's also important to say that the Perfect Launch Vault also covers after the launch. What do you do if you're exhausted? How do you handle it? What kinds of things can you do to kind of detach from however the outcome came to be and then move on so you can better improve your launches for next time and get an even bigger and badder result? So, the Perfect Launch Vault, again, I'm so excited for you guys to have it. It is going to be at the link in my bio. It launches today for only $297, and at the end of the launch, it goes up to $397, and that is going to be on July 31st. So today, you get access to the Perfect Launch Vault for only $297 US, and it goes up to $397 on July 31st. I can't wait for you to grab that. My name is Jillian Perrick, and I'm a lover of all things orange chocolate. Think One Tree Hill is way better than the OC. And as a person who stutters, I hope to one day inspire women with invisible disabilities to overcome their limiting beliefs and start the business of their dreams, just like I did. I'm a mindset coach specializing in imposter syndrome, helping women beat their inner imposter using neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, and time techniques. And this is the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. This podcast is for you if you're an entrepreneurial woman trying to navigate the online space with a lot of passion and a lot of uncertainty. If you feel like your ideas are unoriginal, that your message isn't necessary or important, or like you're a complete and total fraud, then you've come to the right place. This podcast will take you from imposter to empowered with ninja-like brain hacks, easy to implement strategies, and uplifting real talk to make you feel like everything you want is in reach. Let's get started, girlfriend. Hey, everybody. I am so excited for you guys to get the Perfect Launch Vault. Oh my God. It is something that I really just thought of out of the blue. It was one of those inspired thoughts that something really important for you to know is that, so we all have, I'm going to go on like an unrelated but kind of related tangent here. Here we go. So we all have certain types of brain waves, and our brain waves, when we are awake, analyzing, doing the work, getting in there, is high beta. And high beta is that analytical type brainwave. But the thing with being in high beta is it is almost similar to being in that cortisol inducing state in which it's not always negative stress, but it is stress on your body because you're analyzing, you're thinking, you're using your brain, but it's also flooding your body with those hormones that if you're always running at that level, you're going to burn out, you're going to be exhausted. So that's high beta. And if you have been overworking on your business and you're like, fuck, I don't have any creativity, it's probably because you're spending a lot of time in high beta. You're probably like sitting at your laptop, finding things to do, like feeling like you haven't really been productive, even though you've gotten a lot of things done and you just can't let yourself take a break. You're in high beta. And that's why meditation and slowing down an EFT allows you to go down to either normal beta, which is just like, you're kind of relaxed, you're still awake, you're still conscious, but you're not like actively thinking, actively like trying to get something done. But when we're in the alpha brainwave state, that is when we're either doing meditation, hypnosis. It's the brainwave you're in right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up. It's really encouraged to either do your affirmations or do your morning meditation or do a hypnosis. So in the Perfect Launch Vault, there is one meditation. There's actually two. So there's two that I really, really love. There's more than two in there, but one that I really love is Calling in the Sales. And I do that right in the morning as soon as I wake up, because not only does the subconscious mind respond really well to your own voice, by the way, so I recommend you recording yourself on the ThinkUp app. Or just recording something in your phone of you saying affirmations and then like just playing them on repeat before you go to sleep or right when you wake up. But anyways, I use the Calling in the Sales meditation in the morning when I am launching, and I listen to that as soon as I wake up. So I go let my dog out, feed my cat and the dog because they're usually starving. And then I come in my office here and I sit on my cushion and I do that meditation, because when we are just waking up and when we're just about to go to sleep, we're in that alpha brainwave that is then going to take us to the theta brainwave. I'm pretty sure, please don't call me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's theta in which we're sleeping. So like we're asleep. But with alpha, your subconscious mind, the conscious mind has almost like dropped away and your subconscious is very, very susceptible. So when you are calling in those sales, when you are manifesting your goal, that is another meditation that's in the Perfect Launch Vault that I'm obsessed with. When you are manifesting your goal, this is when the subconscious is so much more impressionable and the messages are going to get embedded more and more into your brain. So I don't know where I was going with this tangent. I mean, isn't that the way whenever I get talking on this podcast? But I think I wanted to talk about so the whole reason for this podcast episode is like little tidbits of mindset work during your launch, because it's really, really important for you to prioritize your mindset during your launch. And a lot of people don't do this. So a lot of people don't think of it as a priority. It's usually just like an add-on to your launch, because a lot of the coaching industry is rooted in strategy in terms of launching. But I have not seen a ton of mindset launching resources, and that's why the Perfect Launch Vault came to mind. I know what I was saying. I was saying how when I'm doing something that is not related to work, when I'm just like letting my mind relax, or I'm just like listening to something or whatever, that's when I get these really inspired thoughts. I believe those come from higher source, whatever, and they drop into your mind, and that's a very intuitive nudge. And I got this intuitive nudge of being like, oh my God, the Perfect Launch Vault. Feeling really, really good during your launch, because I have had now like 5 or 6 launches under my belt, and each one gets easier and easier. And I pay really, really close attention to my own. I'm almost like the anthropologist to my life. I'm observing myself in my own environment and just observing my own emotions and my thoughts, and I make sure I pay attention to it so I can better serve you guys all the time. I pay attention to the way that I'm reacting to things. I pay attention to how heightened my emotions are at certain times, and I document it, and then I share it with you guys. Like a lot of my the majority of my content is because I've experienced that. The majority of the things that I put out are because, wow, this was really important to me. I know it'll be important to somebody else too. So basically, what I'm saying is you need to chill the fuck out, because when you do chill the fuck out, amazing things will happen. You really do need to like force yourself to take a break. If you're feeling really uninspired and not creative, take a fucking break. This is going to be 10 minutes of me telling you to take a break. So in spirit of the Perfect Launch Vault launching, the Perfect Launch Vault launching, again, it's available until July 31st for $297, and then it goes up to $397. It's going to be available forever. Oh God, it's only going to be available for $297 up until July 31st. So go to the link in my show notes, grab that. It's amazing. There's meditations, hypnosis tracks, time techniques to drop your future goal into your timeline, creating your goal for your launch so it's perfect and you're not attached to it. I have slides for before, during, and after your launch, the things to implement, all like really amazing resources for you to take your launch from the beginning to end and know that you feel really, really good about it. And if you are a person that loves the process, ooh, baby, the Perfect Launch Vault is for you. And if you love the more mindset, manifestation, flowy stuff, the resources in there are for you as well. Oh, and so much, obviously, EFT tapping. Come on, we have to realign that energy. So let's talk about a couple things that you can do before, during, and after your launch. So my number one thing for before your launch that I think is really important is to set that goal. So setting that SMART goal for your launch, and not setting it from a place of scarcity, but instead really getting clear on what would feel good, what would be contributing to the outcome that you ultimately want in the grand scheme of things, and really being excited about it. And if your goal, your goal is going to be about money. Your goal is going to be about how many people are in it, or how many people buy it. But I don't want you to get too attached. Expectations are attachment. And when you are expecting something to happen, you are setting yourself up for failure, because when you expect that and it doesn't work out, you're going to make it mean something about that launch, about you. The big thing with the Perfect Launch Vault is the fact that, like, I don't want you to make this mean anything about you. You're going to do the work. You're going to do the thing, but it's also going to prepare you for those emotional highs and lows. And setting your goal, people can be really afraid of it. I have a client who sets really small goals for herself. She never allows herself to dream big, because when she hasn't reached it. She's felt bad about herself. She's felt shame. So she only sets small goals, but then she exceeds them with no problem, which again, doesn't really excite her, because she's like, okay, well, I set this really small goal. I knew I would probably get it. So like, what's the point? But the point is that we're always going to be reaching for more. You don't have to always reach your goal. A lot of the time I set a goal, and if it doesn't pan out, that goal is still my goal. It's not like it's going to go away. And there's always time. And I always tell myself, like, I trust that everything is happening for me in divine timing. Everything is happening for me the way that it's supposed to. So even if I don't get this goal now, who says that if I don't write it down and think about it now, that I'm not creating it in the future for myself? Something to really think about. So definitely beforehand, you want to set that goal. You want to set it. And if you use NLP, if you have a coach that uses NLP, just saying, or if you do the Perfect Launch Vault, then you can set that goal into your timeline, into your future timeline, and drop it into the date. And Julie and I did this when we launched our mastermind. We dropped our goal into our future timeline. It was amazing. I dropped my goal into my future timeline when I did my course, my From Imposter to Empowered course. And before I launched this, the Perfect Launch Vault, so many launching, so many words of launching in this, but I did a time goal drop there as well. And again, it's never me attaching myself to the goal. As soon as it happens, I let it go, and it's going to happen whether it happens during this launch, whether it happens in a different way in the future, I'm not attaching myself to it because I know that my success is inevitable. And you should think that as well. Your success is inevitable. It's going to happen. And when you attach yourself to a date or a time or whatever, you're really not allowing the universe to do its work, and you're really putting those restrictions on yourself as well. You're telling yourself that there is a restriction, there's a limit. If I don't get this before this, then I guess that means something about me. But you only fail if you don't try, if you don't keep trying, if you just like quit altogether, right? So another thing that I do, especially like during my launch, is I am really, really grateful, and I celebrate whenever I make a sale or whenever I get somebody into my program. So whenever somebody like pays me, I do like a little bit of a happy dance, and I do this with actually like all my clients, all the stuff that comes out all the stuff that comes out every month. I do like a little happy dance, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I have alarms in my phone. The one that I pay attention to the most, it's I make 6 figures a year, and there's a little like money bag emoji and like a star emoji or whatever. And whenever I see that, I do like a little tiny happy dance. I'm like, yes, I am a 6-figure owner. Fuck yes. And like it's going to happen by the end of the year. And that has been my goal. And on December 31st, or when I hit that goal, I'm going to reset that alarm to say something different to reach my next goal. Is that true right now? No, but it is going to be true. My success is inevitable. And being really grateful and really feeling into those feelings just gets you into that high vibration state. I'm going to talk about like manifestation in a later podcast, because as I'm leaning more into the more spiritual side of myself, I find myself hitting up against limiting beliefs because I come from a very like logical, analytical perspective. And it doesn't mean that the manifestation part or the spiritual part is wrong. It just means it's different. I've not seen this part of myself before, and I'm learning about how to integrate it in with all the logical, analytical parts of me and my business. And I've said this on a podcast episode before, that everything is just stacked on top of each other. All the things that you're doing are working. All the trainings you're taking, all the manifestation you're doing, all the meditating, like this is all contributing to an amazing result. No one thing is going to just change the game for you forever. It's an accumulation of your efforts. But anyways, I am always really grateful, and when you get into that grateful, excited state, it switches your mood. It brings up again your vibration, which is just heightened and excited emotion. So it's positive emotions coursing through your body, and you are making the conscious choice to be excitable and to raise that vibe. So you are meeting yourself at that goal that you want to achieve. You're feeling good, you're feeling excited. And that helps you stay there. And when you stay there, your energy is different, and you're able to move forward with that type of positive energy. And it's going to inform your interactions with people, the way you show up online, the way you write your content. And I'm always really grateful. One thing I do actually that I'm sure you've seen on Instagram is I put up sticky notes of people's names, and seeing their names really solidifies like, this person bought my course, this person is in my program. I am so fucking excited. Not only is it good from a strategic standpoint because it creates FOMO and exclusivity during your launch, but it also just has me like looking at it and be like, wow, like look how far I've come. Like look at it. Look at it. That has me thinking about that cute little kid that was like, looky Linda, look it. Anyways, I am a very visual person, so when I see something in front of me and I see all the names on the sticky notes, I get really excited, and I'm really, really grateful that each person, or when they're like, hey, I just purchased your course, or yay, I'm in, I celebrate the fuck out of them. I'm like, yes, I'm so excited, and I really am feeling excited. I mean, it's always excited to be paid, but like really showing that gratitude really, again, raises your vibration. And if you're having a hard time celebrating in the moment and being grateful because nobody has bought yet and nobody has really, like, you feel like you don't have a reason, what would it feel like if you did get a sale? Tap into those feelings. If you're in the launch vault, there's more. There's also anchoring in the launch vault. I forgot about that. Anchor in, if you're familiar with NLP, you guys just need to buy the perfect launch vault, okay? It's just so good. In that, you can anchor in feelings of abundance and excitement, and you can tap on your knuckle and you can experience those feelings even if somebody hasn't bought yet. How can you tap into a feeling in which you were grateful for something, or you were excited about something, or maybe you recalled getting a check in the mail and you're so grateful, and just like tap into how you would feel if you were to make a sale or if you were to sign somebody for your program. Get really excited about it. And then finally, at the end of your launch, so after your launch, I like to do a little evaluation, like a little bit of an overview of what went right, like what did I really fucking love, what was exciting, but also giving myself feedback for what went wrong. I remember during a launch, I was like, I don't even know if I want to be a coach anymore. That thought literally came across my head because I was so stressed about the launch and who was going to jump in. And when I say the emotional roller coaster is real, I mean it. Like, the emotional roller coaster for mindset and when you're in a launch is real. So when I observe those thoughts and I have them, I pay attention to it and I observe it for next time I'm like, okay, how can I avoid having that feeling? Not how can I avoid the feeling, how can I avoid getting into that low vibration and that low energy? What can I do better for next time? This is very similar to the rejection template that's in the From Imposter to Empowered course, and something I help my clients with is really assessing the launch from all angles from a depersonalized approach, so you're not feeling the charged emotion. And this is why feedback is really, really crucial. In the moment, don't be like observing yourself and be like, wow, I'm really fucking exhausted right now and drained, and oh my God, I should be paying attention. Like, that's just gonna create a lot of shame for yourself. But after your launch, look at your emotions after you've had them and be like, yeah, that didn't feel good, and I don't want to go into my next launch like that. How can I improve for next time? And this is something that I do with basically everything. It's same with like coaching calls and stuff. You can go down the rabbit hole on a coaching call because you feel like it's not going great, and then it just throws off your energy and then you don't feel good. But at the end of the coaching call, after you've stayed on top of your game and delivered the best you can do, how can you say, okay, how can I improve for next time? Looking at ourselves and looking at our behavior and our emotions is never easy. If you avoid feedback, I think I have an episode about that, like way down the line, but I can also do a new one. But if you avoid feedback, you are doing yourself a disservice. Feedback is so, so important. And the more you receive it, the less you become reactive to it, like, because you're gonna make it all about you. The subconscious mind makes everything about us. So when the subconscious mind makes everything about us, receiving feedback about ourselves can be especially difficult. So it's definitely something you need to do though, and it's a really good way. So doing the peaks and valleys exercise is really gonna help you in terms of assessing what went right, what went wrong, and how you can improve for next time. So those are a couple of really key things that I do before, during, and after my launch. Again, the Perfect Launch Vault is on sale for $297. It's going up on July 31st for $397. And I just really want you guys to utilize this for your next launch. I'm so excited for you to grab it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast with me, Jillian Perrick. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram story. And don't forget to tag me at Your Coach Jill. Of course, I'd love for you to rate the podcast 5 stars and leave a review. And if you screenshot your review and send it to me at Your Coach Jill on Instagram, I'll send you a free gift. At the very least, make sure you follow me on Instagram, again at Your Coach Jill, for tons of free content, strategies, and inspo. See you next time.